Hidden behind layers of electric fences, minefields, and armed checkpoints lies one of the most secretive residences on Earth, the home of North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un. But here's the twist. This isn't his only palace. His living arrangements are far more elaborate and paranoid than most people realize. Scattered across the country is a network of luxury compounds, each shrouded in secrecy and guarded like a fortress. How does he move between them without anyone knowing? And why does he need so many? Today, we'll peel back the curtain on Kim Jong-un's shadowy world of fortified mansions and hidden escapes, and uncover what these homes reveal about his grip on power. The fortress-like security system. Let me walk you through just how impossible it would be to approach Kim Jong-un's main residence without authorization. There are only two ways into this property, and both are designed to give security forces maximum time to identify and eliminate any threats. The main entrance sits 680 meters away from the nearest highway. That distance gives North Korean security forces plenty of time to see who's approaching and decide whether they live or die. If we zoom in on satellite imagery, you can see two thinly paved roads that lead to the first security checkpoint. When you arrive at this first checkpoint, you're not just greeted by armed North Korean guards, as you'd expect. What you might not expect is the massive ditch that extends around the entire entrance area, functioning essentially like a medieval moat. This deep ditch and fence system forces any vehicle entering the compound to travel over a narrow road, rather than being able to steer off the road and bypass the checkpoint entirely. It's a brilliant tactical design that funnels all traffic into a single kill zone where guards have complete control. This tactic of using ditches to force vehicles into predetermined paths is used at several other points around the property. It's a clear sign that whoever designed this security system was thinking about everything from individual assassins to coordinated military attacks. But making it through that first checkpoint is just the beginning of your journey. You'll have to pass through 3 additional security checkpoints before you even get close to the actual residence where Kim Jong-un lives. Each checkpoint is more heavily fortified than the last, and each one gives security forces another opportunity to stop potential threats. The psychological effect of this security system can't be overstated. Anyone approaching this compound, even with legitimate business, is constantly reminded that they're entering the domain of someone with absolute power over life and death. Every checkpoint, every ditch, every fence is a reminder that Kim Jong-un trusts no one completely. 680 meters from the highway to the first gate. Do you think that's overkill or the perfect distance for protection? Comment and chat with me. The network of secret residences. Now, where Kim Jong-un's living arrangements become particularly noteworthy and reflect the extensive security measures employed by the North Korean leadership, the Ryongseong residence is not his only home. It is one residence in a larger network designed to make it extremely difficult for outsiders to determine its exact location at any given time. This strategy of maintaining multiple residences serves several purposes. First, it significantly reduces the risk of security breaches by ensuring no single location is predictable. Second, it allows Kim Jong-un to appear at different locations throughout the country without advance notice, reinforcing his image as an omnipresent leader. Third, it provides multiple secure options should any one residence become compromised. The scale of this residential network is considerable. There is the Kangdong residence located further in the mountains, which functions as a summer retreat. The Sinwiju official residence lies strategically near the border with China. Additional residences include Ryokpo, Samsok, Pyeongseong, Wonsan, Nampo, and Pyeongseong, among others. Each of these residences is a fully equipped compound with its security systems, staff, and amenities. The network is estimated to require substantial resources to maintain, potentially amounting to hundreds of millions of dollars annually. For context, North Korea's total GDP is estimated to be around $18 billion, indicating that maintaining this network represents a significant national expenditure. This contrast highlights broader issues within the country. While these high-level residences operate with extensive resources, many ordinary citizens face food shortages, unreliable electricity, and challenging living conditions. Finally, the distribution of these residences throughout North Korea also serves a political function. It enables Kim Jong-un to maintain a physical presence across multiple regions, reinforcing his authority and ensuring that leadership is visibly established throughout the nation. Before continuing, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, please hit the notification bell and subscribe. It helps this channel so much, and if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? The rail-only travel system. So, how does Kim Jong-un move between all these different residences? Kim Jong-un travels exclusively by train, and the reasons behind this choice tell us everything about how the North Korean regime views the world. This rail-un travel policy stems from Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un's father, who was reportedly terrified of flying. This fear has been passed down to Kim Jong-un, who has maintained the same travel restrictions. But what started as a personal phobia has evolved into an elaborate security system that's quite brilliant from a protection standpoint. Kim Jong-un's train is often compared to traveling on Air Force One, but in many ways it's even more secure. The train consists of 21 different rail cars, all of which are bulletproof, and designed to withstand various types of attacks. The entourage traveling with Kim Jong-un includes security guards, doctors, family members, and various government officials. The train only travels at a maximum speed of 37 miles per hour, which might seem slow, but this speed serves several security purposes. First, it allows security teams to thoroughly inspect every mile of track before the train passes. Second, it gives security forces time to respond to any potential threats along the route. Third, it reduces the risk of derailment from sabotage or mechanical failure. This slow travel speed means it can take several days for Kim Jong-un to travel from the southern end of North Korea to the northern end. During these journeys, the entire rail network essentially shuts down to accommodate his travel, disrupting transportation for millions of North Korean citizens. In case of an emergency or attack, during travel, there's even a helicopter attached to the train that could be used for rapid escape. This level of preparation for every possible scenario shows just how seriously North Korean security takes potential threats. The train system also allows Kim Jong-un to maintain secrecy about his movements. Unlike air travel, which requires specific airports and flight paths, rail travel can be more easily concealed and rerouted if necessary. The Kangdong residents' summer retreat. One of the most fascinating stops on Kim Jong-un's secret railway network is the Kangdong residence, which serves as his primary summer retreat. This compound perfectly illustrates how each of Kim Jong-un's residences is designed not just for luxury, but for complete self-sufficiency and security. The Kangdong residence includes multiple houses, several swimming pools, another horse racing track, and of course an extensive security system that rivals his main residence. What makes this location particularly interesting is the clear division between the old and new leadership. The older building on the property is believed to have been Kim Jong-il's residence, while a newer, more modern building to the north is where Kim Jong-un stays when he visits. There's reportedly only one publicly shared photograph of this residence, which gives you an idea of just how secretive this location is. The image shows hilly terrain with several man-made lakes scattered across the property. These aren't just decorative features. Those lakes serve multiple purposes, including providing natural barriers against potential attacks and creating scenic views that reinforce Kim Jong-un's image as someone who controls even nature itself. The wall structure around the Kangdong residence reveals the paranoid mindset behind its design. If you analyze satellite imagery, you can see three distinct layers of protection. The red areas represent walls protecting the primary residences where Kim Jong-un actually lives. The blue areas represent walls protecting the inner parts of the compound where staff and security operate. The yellow areas represent the outer walls that separate the entire compound from the general public. This three-layer security system means that even if attackers somehow breached the outer perimeter, they'd still have to overcome two additional layers of fortification before reaching Kim Jong-un. Each layer is designed to slow down attackers while giving security forces time to respond with overwhelming force. Scattered throughout the compound are smaller buildings that intelligence analysts believe serve as storage bunkers for fuel and supplies. These bunkers could also function as hiding places during attacks or even a nuclear war. The fact that Kim Jong-un has prepared for nuclear conflict at his summer retreat tells you everything about how he views his position in the world. But perhaps the most important feature of the Kangdong residence is the train station. Located on the other side of the river from the main compound, this station is swing on the Olympic resident of connected and allows him to travel anywhere near Syria while maintaining complete secrecy about his movements. From this train station, Kim Jong-un can be transported across the river by a secure road that leads directly into the inner portions of his summer retreat. The entire journey from train to residence can be completed without any exposure to potential threats or surveillance. The Wonsan residence Seaside luxury. Despite the impressive scale of the Kangdong residence, it's not even Kim Jong-un's favorite summer destination. About a 3-hour train ride from Pyongyang lies the coastal city of Wonsan, where Kim Jong-un has what can only be described as his version of Mar-a-Lago. The Wonsan residence is built along a cliff overlooking the Sea of Japan, and it represents the absolute pinnacle of luxury living in North Korea. This compound includes 9 large guest houses, a massive recreation center, Kim Jong-un's residence, and even a large covered dock along the water specifically designed for his mega yacht. The scale of luxury at this location is almost impossible to comprehend when you consider the poverty that most North Koreans face daily. While citizens struggle to find enough food to survive, Kim Jong-un has a private beach, protected by security barges, and naturally shielded from the mainland by large hills. If you follow the bridge across the canal at this location, you'll find yet another train station that Kim Jong-un uses to reach this residence. And of course, there's another horse racing track, because Kim Jong-un enjoys horse racing. What makes this particular track interesting is that it used to be an airport, but it was converted specifically to accommodate what appears to be one of the dictator's favorite hobbies. The individual buildings at the Wonsan residence each serve specific purposes that reveal Kim Jong-un's priorities. One building houses a theater and an indoor basketball court. The main recreational facility sits on the other side of a hill, providing privacy and security. Upon top of the hill is Kim Jong-un's old residence, but when Kim Jong-un came to power, he had a larger, more modern villa built closer to the sea. Below Kim Jong-un's main residence are smaller villas where his friends and family can stay during visits. This setup allows him to maintain his social connections while ensuring that everyone remains within his controlled environment. But the Wonsan residence isn't just about luxury, it's also about projecting power and control. The fact that Kim Jong-un can maintain such an elaborate seaside compound while his people struggle with necessities sends a clear message about the nature of power in North Korea. The secluded island retreat. Within the past decade, Kim Jong-un has added an even more secluded residence to his collection, and this one takes privacy and security to an entirely new level. Located off the coast of Wonsan, this island residence can only be reached by Kim Jong-un's mega yacht, making it virtually impossible for unauthorized visitors to access. His island compound features a massive dock capable of holding Kim Jong-un's entire fleet of boats, ranging from his 20-meter yacht all the way up to his 55-meter luxury vessel. The fact that he owns multiple yachts worth tens of millions of dollars while North Korean citizens lack basic transportation options perfectly encapsulates the inequality that defines his regime. The main building is strategically located in the middle of the island, with Kim Jong-un's residence positioned slightly higher than the guest villas. This elevation isn't just about better views, it's about maintaining a physical representation of hierarchy even in his most private moments. The building at the very tip of the peninsula likely houses staff and supplies, ensuring that the island can function completely independently from the mainland. There are even recreational items visible in the water that appear to be floating platforms for relaxation. What makes this island residence particularly significant is that it may be Kim Jong-un's only residence that isn't directly connected to his train network. However, there are dirt roads that wind through the hills back to the North Korean mainland, providing an alternative escape route if necessary. The level of isolation at this island retreat reveals something important about Kim Jong-un's psychology. Even with all his security measures and multiple residences, he still felt the need to create a location that's completely cut off from the rest of the world. This suggests a level of paranoia that goes beyond normal security concerns. If you had an entire island to yourself, would you use it for peace and solitude, or to build a fortress like this? Border residences and Chinese influence. Recently, Kim Jong-un has been spending increasing amounts of time at his northernmost residences, which are located close to the border with China. This shift in his living patterns reflects the crucial relationship between North Korea and China, which has significant implications for global politics. There are three main residences near the Chinese border: the Sinwuju residence, the Chengsung residence, and the Paektusan residence. Each of these locations serves both personal and political purposes, allowing Kim Jong-un to maintain close communication with Chinese leadership while projecting strength along North Korea's most important border. China has been North Korea's most consistent supporter for decades, opposing international sanctions and providing crucial economic assistance. From China's perspective, supporting North Korea makes strategic sense because they do not want to deal with 26 million refugees flooding across their border if the North Korean regime collapses. This relationship explains why Kim Jong-un maintains such elaborate residences near the Chinese border. These locations allow him to conduct sensitive diplomatic negotiations away from international surveillance, while demonstrating his commitment to the Chinese relationship. The most historically significant of these border residences is the Paektusan residence, which holds special meaning in North Korean mythology and Kim family history. The Paektusan residence, historical symbolism. The Paektusan residence represents something far more significant than just another luxury compound in Kim Jong-un's network. This location is steeped in North Korean mythology and serves as a crucial pillar of the Kim family's claim to legitimacy. This residence is built at the birthplace of Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un's father and the former leader of North Korea. According to official North Korean history, this location is where the Kim dynasty's right to rule was essentially established. While we can see the compound clearly in satellite imagery, there are virtually no photographs available of what the modern residence looks like inside. The secrecy surrounding this location goes far beyond normal security concerns. This residence is considered the most classified of all Kim Jong-un's properties because of its historical significance to the North Korean regime. The few publicly available images show the log cabin where Kim Jong-un was supposedly born in 1941, when the Soviet Union controlled this territory. According to North Korean propaganda, Kim Jong-il used this residence as headquarters for the Korean People's Revolutionary Army during their fight against Japanese occupation. This all happened before North Korea even existed as an independent country, which makes this location a foundational element of North Korean national identity. The compound still contains monuments and murals commemorating Kim Jong-il and celebrating what North Koreans are taught to believe is the birthplace of their nation. For Kim Jong-un, maintaining a residence at this location isn't just about having another place to stay. It's about physically connecting himself to the mythology that justifies his family's absolute power. The fact that Kim Jong-un spends increasing amounts of time at this historically significant location suggests he's working to reinforce his legitimacy as the rightful heir to North Korean leadership. In a system where power depends entirely on perceived legitimacy, controlling and inhabiting these symbolic locations becomes crucial for maintaining authority. Presence in Pyongyang, the capital paradox. With all these elaborate residences scattered across North Korea, you might wonder whether Kim Jong-un spends any meaningful time in Pyongyang, the nation's capital. After all, most world leaders spend the majority of their time in their country's capital city, where the actual work of governing supposedly takes place. The reality of Kim Jong-un's relationship with Pyongyang reveals something fascinating about how power works in North Korea. While there are several important government buildings where Kim Jong-un makes appearances, he doesn't spend much time in the city center. There's Pyongyang City Hall, where Kim Jong-un oversees local governance within the Pyongyang region. The Korean Central News Agency headquarters serves as the control center for North Korea's massive propaganda machine, ensuring that citizens remain loyal and faithful to Kim Jong-un's leadership. Various ministries and government offices are scattered throughout the city, theoretically controlling different sectors like defense, foreign affairs, education, culture, and public security. Then there's the Supreme People's Assembly, which is supposedly where laws are enacted and government policies are debated. Of course, this is largely theatrical since North Korea operates as a complete dictatorship where Kim Jong-un's word is absolute law. The irony here is almost comical. North Korea maintains all the buildings and institutions you'd expect to find in a functioning government, but in reality, most important decisions are made by Kim Jong-un from the comfort of his various luxury residences, particularly the Wonsan residence, located about 9 miles from downtown Pyongyang. Allow me to read Zheng San's The Escape Thought by Max Kaup. Even though there's a train station in downtown Pyongyang that could theoretically allow Kim Jong-un to travel to these government buildings, intelligence reports suggest his train rarely makes trips into the city's center. Instead, government officials travel to him at whichever residence he's currently occupying. This arrangement perfectly illustrates how power works in North Korea. Rather than Kim Jong-un going to where the work needs to be done, the work comes to wherever Kim Jong-un happens to be. It's a system designed entirely around his convenience and security rather than effective governance. If uncovering hidden places like this fascinates you, hit the like button and subscribe. It helps us keep digging into stories the world rarely sees. The Underground Command Center. Beneath Kim Jong-un's main residence at Ryongseong lies perhaps the most important and secretive facility in all of North Korea. An underground wartime headquarters designed to ensure the regime's survival even in the event of nuclear war. This underground command center is protected by lead walls specifically designed to withstand nuclear attacks. While the exact details of this facility remain highly classified, intelligence analysts believe it contains everything necessary to run North Korea's government and military during a prolonged conflict. The underground headquarters likely include secure communication systems that allow Kim Jong-un to maintain contact with military units, government officials, and potentially even foreign allies during a crisis. There are probably extensive food and water supplies, medical facilities, and living quarters for essential personnel. Perhaps most intriguingly, there are reports of an underground railroad system that would allow Kim Jong-un to travel to his other residences or even potentially escape into China without ever appearing above ground. This would represent the ultimate expression of the paranoia that defines North Korean leadership. The Ryongseong residence's location was chosen partly because of its proximity to North Korea's most advanced missile defense systems. This means Kim Jong-un can coordinate the country's military response to any attack while remaining in the most protected location possible. The existence of this underground facility reveals how seriously North Korean leadership takes the possibility of military conflict. While Kim Jong-un projects strength and confidence in public, the elaborate preparations for nuclear war suggest he understands just how precarious his position is. Military provocations and political motives. Kim Jong-un's elaborate network of fortified residences exists within the context of North Korea's increasingly aggressive military posture, which has significant implications for global security and reveals the political calculations behind his lifestyle choices. In recent years, North Korea has been dramatically enhancing both its offensive and defensive military capabilities. On December 18, 2023, North Korea launched its most advanced Hwasong-18 missile, specifically designed to travel across the globe and potentially strike the United States. Then, on January 5, 2024, North Korea launched over 200 artillery shells near the disputed Western Sea boundary with South Korea. These military provocations force South Korean officials to evacuate residents from 2 small islands and respond with what they called appropriate measures. The fact that Kim Jong-un can order these attacks while sitting safely in one of his luxury compounds, protected by multiple layers of security, perfectly illustrates the disconnect between his safety and the risks he's willing to impose on others. The political motivation behind these provocations is straightforward. Kim Jong-un hopes that South Korea and other international allies will lift the economic sanctions currently imposed on North Korea. He argues that removing these sanctions would provide economic relief to the struggling North Korean people. But here's the crucial question. If those sanctions were lifted and North Korea received significant economic assistance, Would Kim Jong-un use that money to help his people, or would he simply build more luxury residences for himself? The evidence suggests the latter. Kim Jong-un has consistently prioritized his comfort and security over the welfare of North Korean citizens. The massive resources devoted to maintaining his residential network could easily provide food, healthcare, and education for thousands of North Korean families. The contrast between Kim Jong-un's lifestyle and the conditions faced by ordinary North Koreans isn't just morally outrageous. It's also politically revealing. It shows that despite all his rhetoric about serving the people, Kim Jong-un's primary concern is maintaining his power and comfort. Kim Jong-un controls more than a dozen luxury residences across North Korea. These compounds cost millions of dollars to build and maintain, while most citizens struggle with basic needs like food and electricity. The resources spent on these estates highlight North Korea's limited economy. Money that could improve healthcare, education, or infrastructure is instead used to secure the leader's comfort. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.